never anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a six by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a bitch, jumping in the bed with two dark teeth, man, who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too, dripping my swag.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Los Angeles Rams.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. Now Jones. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Pirine, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On third down, Wilson. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up fourth down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Goff will lead the Rams up here first and 10 at the 20. Goff now looks to throw. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Goff on third down. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
And power running here down to the 6-yard line. The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 17 carries, 67 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes a leading rusher.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Bucky Hodges, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Now Jones. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what?
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dane Cruikshank. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Here's Jarvis Landry now on the return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the 1st quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their 2nd drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
Trying to forget about that pick 6 last time out.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Here's Wilson. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. A good pickup there at 22.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
I know retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
On second down, here's Wilson. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits 000. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dane Cruikshank. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now Goff on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Goff. He's letting it fly. It's caught inside the 25. Goff finding Cooks on a big play. 46 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead,
and it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Brandon Cooks with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them. Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. They'll run it here with P-Ryan. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. One advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there. Now a carry for P-Ryan, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you? Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. Working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday? I certainly do. I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Dumps it off to Gurley. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd down. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. And, Brandon, you know that expression, he just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL, and all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Goff. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. It's P-Ride to begin the drive. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's Goff. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Gurley again here on 1st down. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on 2nd down is gone. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's got this down to the 35. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Now Pirine, and his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Wilson on second down. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's fourth down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely needed to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. Goff escapes the sack. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, it's Gurley. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Rams out in front here. They've got control of the football as well as we get set for the 4th quarter. 3rd and long. It's gone. And that one's complete to Gurley. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On first and goal, Gurley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Todd Gurley with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
On second down, Wilson. It fights it, but now he's swallowed up and taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Third and long, it's Wilson. He'll drop it off to Pirine, complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Goff will lead the Rams up here, first and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, first and 10. Here comes a 20th carry for Gurley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he'll go. It's a... yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Rams, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one.